everybody, welcome back to Blue Clouds Media. What a day! Another week begins again. Today's Monday, the 21st of the month, and we're happy again to be here live to discussing football. And where do we really start from? An intriguing game from yesterday. So we're gonna see where we're gonna start from. We all know London Derby yesterday. We're gonna look into discover the electrifying clash between West Ham United and Chelsea FC as we break down the exhilaration moment of this thrilling encounter. Despite playing with 10 men, West Ham did play with 10 men for almost about 30 minutes. West Ham managed to secure an unexpected victory against the big spending football club Chelsea FC. From Naiv's early goal to Paqueta's late penalty, we also analyze a potential event that define high stake. Match like a London Derby, Chelsea versus West Ham United. Also, we're gonna look into West Ham, like I said, West Ham versus Chelsea FC's review and the key moment and certain aspects of the game, statistic wise, what went wrong for the Blues, and then what went right for David Moyes' West Ham United. And also, we're gonna look at certain key players if they're really would I say how impact do they play in our current formation, and also we're gonna look into the managers also formation that he put up, and also we're gonna look into Kani Chukwuemeka's injury update, and also Chelsea ceiling 11.8 million Petrovic goalkeeper because the club need another goalkeeper. The departure, not fully departure, but the lone goalkeeper, which is Kepa Arrizabalaga. We all know he has joined Real Madrid, and we're gonna need another keeper that will challenge Sanchez on the pitch. We need a very, very strong goalkeeper. To have a very strong, formidable team, you need a very good safest pair of hands. We know how good Peter Cech was, Kudicini, who was then the goalkeeper at that time until Peter Cech was given that chance to come in and challenge Kudicini. Since then, Peter Cech went on to be the legend as we all know him. So David Sanchez need a competitive goalkeeper to come in, as Chelsea are also looking into bringing in Levin Petrovic, who it might cost Chelsea 11.8 million from where he is now. So yes, that's where we are at this moment. It is 69 degrees outside right now. Temperature looks beautiful, beautiful day. Nice to be outdoor. Nice to be outdoor doing outdoor work. So yes, where do we start from? We start from the West Ham and Chelsea's review as the Blues lost 3-1 to West Ham United. What really went wrong? What went right? So if you're just joining us on the platform, do not forget to like the video and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that at this moment. We also have a poll that I set up in the comment section below. So when you join them, you can go through the poll and let me know what you think of that best player was on the night of Chelsea losing to West Ham United on the London Derby game. Big up to the Blue Club and show 100% Chelsea, and also big up to Gunnar. Gunnar, it's the first time seeing you since the season began. I didn't see you all the preseason. Probably I wasn't streaming that much. I took some break off. So yes, it's nice to have you all here. The Blue Club shows 100% said hi. Hi to you too. Yes, I know where you are linking up from Senegal. You are a great fan of the show, I know. And Gunnar, you just returning, says, what was that yesterday, my bro? Speak now. I was good to see you. By the way, miss you. I miss you too, Gunnar. I miss you. I hope you're doing very, very well. It's nice to see you. Nice to see you down in the chat again. Today it's gonna be all by myself, so probably maybe 40 minutes of live stream if you're able to tackle everything that we got to talk about. In yesterday's game, where do we start from? We're gonna start from the lineup, in my opinion. Let's start from the lineup as I have there on the screen. We're gonna start from lineup. I wouldn't say the lineup was that bad, but you could tell that certain key players do not they don't work well in Mauricio Pochettino's formation. Jackson, I wouldn't think he would be the man. He doesn't work well. He doesn't play well as the number 9. I don't know if maybe the lack of Nkunku, who is not there, that could be the main problem, or maybe you could tell that Ryan Sterling. If you don't look at the game that Ryan Sterling played yesterday, you may think he is the best player of all. Chelsea are having the young Ryan Sterling that we saw with Liverpool, the Ryan Sterling that we saw with Manchester City, where he was scoring 10, 15, 20 goals in a season. Not the same person. He has the energy. He has that driving force to drive the ball from the midfield and go through brick walls, go through 4, 5 people at the same time. But the most important thing of a player like Ryan Sterling's caliber is once you drive the ball from that distance, the most important thing is how you cut in, how you make those passes when you get in there. All those passes were awful. It couldn't make it to the players. And when the passes are coming, it doesn't go directly. So the connection from the ball with the players were never right. Look at Manchester City. Look at Kevin De Bruyne. Look at Ryan Rames. Yeah, Ryan Rames. I'm sure that's his name. Rames. So yeah, look at him. Look at those players. Gundogan, Silva. When they get into those positions, they take their time. They take their time to cut in and make those passes directly. Either it goes to Helen, or either it goes to Silva or Gundogan. Those people, and always the connection is very, very clean. Ryan Sterling can run through brick walls and do whatever he has to do. But then if the connection from him to the strikers is not there, there's no way Chelsea can score. Because look at the possession that we had. Look at the possession alone should tell you that there was something was not right. And also, you can bring in all those wingers with the pacey wingers that can run through brick walls, just like I said. But if they can cut in and make those final decisions right, there's no way Chelsea can get goals. We can play 1900 minutes, but there's no way we cannot get the goals because the final decision, the end product, the decision we make at the final third is not there. Jackson is a good player, but then he's not that guy that can finish those chances that comes in. He's a good player, but then we need the natural number 9. It's yesterday's game sounds it all. It's something that we've seen from last season. Chelsea haven't won the game. Chelsea haven't won the game from the last game we won. My mind could set me right, the last game Chelsea won was against Borussia Dortmund at Stamford Bridge. If my mind could set me right, if I'm right on this, the last game Chelsea won was against Borussia Dortmund at Stamford Bridge. That's a long time ago, folks. The team is not scoring. We played very well preseason. That's preseason. Usually your transformation in preseason had a lot of impact in the way you play your league at whatever your league at. So if whatever Chelsea played, how good they played during preseason, it really transformed. It should transform into the league, but it's not happening. And you can still tell that the team need a number 9. And also Caicedo was wrong. He's a good player, but then look how long it took for Caicedo to make his move to Chelsea. I put Caicedo in my predicted lineup, but then I wasn't expecting him to start the game. He did not start the game. He came out from the bench, which is right from Mauricio Pochettino. But then the British record signing player, ended up making that stupid tackle, which result in the penalty. And also, if VRI should have checked into that penalty very well, that penalty should have taken, because one West Ham player was in the box before the ball was being kicked. One West Ham player was in the box already before the ball was being kicked. Let me share my screen and see the starting lineup. I'll come back to you guys' comments. Keep it flowing. Keep the comments coming in, and we will. Oh, I think I have the wrong formation there. The wrong team. I thought I have Chelsea. But anyway. So we're looking at this is what Chelsea went with. Ryan Sterling effort on this line was Ryan Sterling was the man of the match, in my opinion. If Chelsea have gone on and win the game, Ryan Sterling should be the man of the match because he was exceptional. He was terrific on the day. But then all his effort and everything he put in did not amount to nothing. It was a solid effort coming from Kano Chukwuemeka. And I'll give you guys an update. I've been trying to find an update on Kano Chukwuemeka. Well, he was limping. He was being limped off when he was leaving the stadium yesterday. He was walking on crutches. But hopefully, let's pray that it doesn't become any serious. He can come back and start playing the game maybe this Friday when we play Luton Town. So Jackson up there, Jackson, he's a guy. He's very, very intelligent. He can play within those little pocket spaces. But then he is not the finishing article. Or maybe there could be a miscommunication between Kano Chukwuemeka, who is a holder, maybe Conor Gallagher over here, and Raheem Sterling. These two guys hold on to the ball. Jackson will if you guys watch the way Jackson played during preseason, he likes to feed on long balls. He's very good also. He's also very good interpositional play. 1-2, 1-2 is very, very good with that. But then if you look at him very well in his body movement, when you give him those killer passes, Jackson will always get onto it and finish it. He didn't have that much of a minute. So I would say that these 5 people over here, which include Ben Chilwell, did not fit Jackson very well on that day yesterday. So that could result in his poor performance yesterday. Ryan Sterling, a lot of them, he was surging. He was driving the ball, which we needed to see that from Raheem Sterling. But all mounted to nothing. Get into these positions. When it cut in, the ball did not go to the right player. So I know you guys who will agree with me. Or if you have any other opinion in terms of how we lost yesterday or how Chelsea lost yesterday, let me know. All right, let me see what we have here. Paul Nyaku, big up to you, Paul. And I hope you're doing very, very well. If you haven't shared our video, guys, Paul, share the videos on Facebook whilst we are still live and see if we can have more numbers joining us here. And honestly, Poch has left us down. Why change personnel who were performing during preseason? That makes a lot of sense also. Why do you have to keep Ian Matson? I haven't seen a lot from Ian Matson. I spoke with Ian Matson during preseason, and I said, "Look, you need to keep doing what you're doing." And he said he was like, "Thank you, brother." I was like, "Yeah, you need to keep what you're doing because all the fans, all the supporters are right behind you, and everyone can see what you're doing. So keep doing it." And Pochettino played this guy. He came in and scored 2 goals. He was performing very, very well. So what makes you stop playing Ian Matson, who was so good? He was on top of his game during preseason. This is why some of these players leave the football club because you promised them. You promised Levi Colwell minutes to sign. You promised Ian Matson to sign and be with the club and get minutes. Have we seen any minutes from Ian Matson in the last 2 games? No. We haven't seen any minutes from Ian Matson. So I need if I'm not in the UK right now, but if I was in the UK, I'm gonna ask Pochettino this same question. What's the sense of keeping Ian Matson if you're not gonna give him minutes? 2 games so far we've seen, and I know we've got a lot of players, a lot of injury also. Matson plays very well in attacking role. Look at those goals he scored against, I think Brighton. Look at those goals during preseason. So Gunnar said Chelsea played well. Think they need something sometime, but eventually it will click. It was clicking. Gunnar, it was clicking in preseason. But then if you tell the call of the team that played during preseason, I know the same call starting these games. We saw Levi Colwell. We saw we did not see what's his name? Dizazi playing the preseason. Dizazi wasn't there. Dizazi made lots of mistakes yesterday. And also, I'm sure Pochettino will sit him down and talk to him about those mistakes. Dizazi made a lot of mistakes, and there's nothing wrong if players make mistakes. But then Ryan Sterling, like I said, he was terrific, but then he has to start from the bench. All the energy he puts in the game, the driving force, no mountain, nothing. Chelsea have to kept 75% of the game yesterday with even West Ham United playing 20 minutes with just 10 men. We still could not break them down. It means that the final third, the decision we make going up front at final third, we're wrong. A lot of things has to change in the final third. That job is Mauricio Pochettino's job. It's not for the players. They are professional. They know what to do. But then tactically, if you look at Pep Guardiola, I use Pep Guardiola as an example. When you see Gundogan, Silva, all these players, when they get to that final third, they take their time before they lay those passes. They take their time. But Ryan Sterling, a lot of our players look like it was so much in a rush. There's no idea when they get to that 18-yard box. There's no idea. What are we doing when you get to this position? It's not there. I'm sure you guys understand what I'm saying. The idea in the final third is not there for that execution. We've seen this under Frank Lampard. First time when Frank Lampard came. Frank Lampard left. We saw the same problem when Frank Lampard returned. We saw the same problem under Graham Potter. We saw the same problem again. We've seen the same problem again. So the club need either a natural number 9 to be in those positions to help out. Else, we're going to have the same problem again, playing very well, but then come out in 90 minutes with nothing. We're going to have the same problem. Chelsea will continue playing well, but the execution, the problem is going to persist because of a natural number 9. Okay, so whilst we have it, let me read some few comments and then get back again. Paul Nyaku said, in what system was Jackson linking up well with a teammate? We played the back four. We played 2 formation during preseason. We always play 2 formation. Maybe the first half we played with the 4 in the back, and the second half we switched to 3 in the back in terms of how he wants Nkunku to play. Christopher Nkunku is very, very versatile. He can play in the false 9 role, but then you can tell that Mauricio Pochettino is trying to stick to the back 3 role. He's trying to stick to the back 3. That is what I've seen from Mauricio Pochettino. But if you're sticking to the back 3 row, you have 2 players that are not looking at their number 9. Chukwuemeka, Gallagher, Fernandez. Enzo Fernandez have played with Jackson up through the preseason, and he knows how Jackson play. But lots of the time, Ryan Sterling spends so much time on the ball trying to drive the ball, but Employat is not there. But if you have the eye as a midfielder, Conor Gallagher don't have that eye to be able to give those passes because Jackson was more wasteful yesterday, in my opinion. Jackson was wasteful in the game. How many touches did even Jackson get in the 18? How many of them? Ryan Sterling still the show. All right, Gunnar said, do feel like you need a creative player in there. I know Enzo can do that too, but someone with a bit more magic, that is true. More creativity, someone who has the eye for those passes. That is true. I agree with you, Gunnar. I agree with you 100%. The Blueclouds show 100% said Poch made us lost the game yesterday. You can put the blame a little bit on Pochettino, but the players also have answers. They have to ask. They have questions to answer to the supporters. Why they couldn't make the decision when they get to the final third. And also, Mauricio Pochettino have to answer some of these questions. The final third has been very, very awful. The substitution were wrong. I don't think they were. That wrong. Global Fans FC was cooking. You come to that's coming from our brother MS. Big up to you, MS. Nice to have more of you joining the fun. Yeah, thank you very much, guys. Do not forget to like the video and also share the video for us whilst you're watching us. Yeah. We have What's Paul saying? Paul said as a Kowal a left back. Yeah, Kowal is a left-footed player at this moment. I know he's also a little bit inexperienced, but with much more time, he's proven in the Premier League, but they're not that highest level in terms of playing the big team like Chelsea. All those players have so much pressure on them when they're playing Chelsea. All right, big up to you, Gulam Mustafa. He said, did someone mention Pep? I did mention Pep. I was trying to make an example on how Pep players play. So yeah, that was. Did I miss anything? Okay. Big up to you, DJ Sub. DJ Sub, where have you been? DJ Sub, where have you been, big brother? It's been a while, man. I hope you're doing very well. Yes, guys, dig this up. If you're watching, I will put a link in there. Whoever, Paul, MS, the Blue Club Show, whoever think he has different opinion on the game yesterday, and if you have anything you want to say, you can join me on the platform over here, and I'll give you a chance to discuss the game with me over here. So Paul Nyak is a too slow build up, no penetration or link up. I think what I'll say is there were link up. The build up was very very fast, but then the decision making up front was not there. The link up was not really there. The link up between Kano Chukwumeka, and also Nicholas Jackson and Raheem Sterling, those were not there. They were more of an individual play. Individual was, if you look at the goal that we scored, was an individual brilliance from Kano Chukwumeka. It was an individual brilliance. With all that we saw from Raheem Sterling, did not result into goals. So there wasn't link up. Nicholas Jackson, like I said, was isolated yesterday. So I've sent the link right in there. If dig yourself, if you have a little bit of time, you can jump on here. I have almost about, I think, for 25 more minutes of streaming. You can join me up here. Let's discuss the game real quick and what you make of Mauricio Pochettino's formation. What do you make of the personnel on the pitch? Was it the personnel? Was it the formation? Do you think we should go back to a back four? Because there were so many mistakes being made by certain players. Disasi himself, I don't know. He scored on his debut, which was a plus for Disasi, but then there he made lots of mistakes. I think over time he will get better. Disasi will get better, but also we want to see more. Cowell himself we need to see Badishia also coming back and put some challenges on Cowell. Cowell is good, but then on the highest level, we need more. He has to produce more than he did at Brighton. He's playing Brighton, so far it's only two teams that have recorded 100% performance, 100% win in the Premier League. It's Brighton Football Club and the Manchester City. You're gonna expect that from Manchester City. Let's see what today's game also have to offer. Crystal Palace and also Arsenal Football Club. Is Arsenal gonna win that game today? It's gonna be very difficult because Crystal Palace you cannot predict. It's very difficult to predict what they can produce on the match day. So just like I said, this is what Chelsea line up. This is what Chelsea line up over there. Scala United. Scala is joining me here. Big up, Scala. Herbert, how you doing, brother?
Yeah, big up, big up. Good to be back. I mean, obviously, some breaking news. You must have seen that uh, regarding Mason Greenwood. So, I mean, I'm sure you're aware of it. I mean, it's not something that I'm breaking it. So, yeah, just wanted to say that. Obviously, that guy, he's no more a United player now, and I don't think he will be playing in the Premier League anytime soon or ever in his career. So yeah, that's a good decision probably. Personally, I wouldn't have minded him playing for the club again. I wasn't. I probably was in the minority of him seeing back playing for the club because, in my opinion, he didn't do anything wrong. If he has been cleared by the court, and the alleged victim, has said that I don't see anything wrong in what my current husband did, then it's good for me. But obviously, the majority have seen the clips, heard the clips, and all that thing has gone through, and they didn't want him back. So I respect the opinion, and I think it's for the best. I mean, I don't want Ten Hag answering in every press conference about Mason Greenwood. That would have annoyed me. So I think he brought on a lot of problems. Then he would have not bought half if would have stayed. So I think the decision is right. I think the club has handled this very embarrassingly. I can't. I don't want to give any credit to the club. I'm just coming off reading what the CEO Richard Arnold said. I can't take those guys seriously, man. I mean, United's administrative board, we are an absolute joke. I mean, last week we were planning to reintegrate into the team, and now we have changed because of social media backlash.
Yeah.
That just shows how clueless this club is when it comes to, talking with the fans and having some kind of. So look, I mean, let's not get into that. Obviously, he's no more a United player, so it's not our trouble. Best of luck to him wherever he goes. Hopefully, he builds his career. Look, if a person can make a mistake, right, but he is allowed to rebuild his career. You can't just shut him down for, take away his livelihood. He has made a mistake and he has been charged and prosecuted, and now he's a free guy. So I wish him luck.
Thank you very much, Scala, for giving us an update on Mason Greenwood. Mason Greenwood update. We did talk about Mason Greenwood the last time you were here, and this I said the same thing. I said I'll be gutted if I see Mason Greenwood returning to Manchester United Football Club. Why? Because I mean, the abuser, whatever himself, whatever he put up there, I think there is a little, maybe someone threatening her or someone talking to her behind the scenes to try to drop those, drop everything so Mason Greenwood can carry on with his career. He can play football, but then not in that highest level anymore. Whatever he did, the material and that evidence video that we all listen to, it is bad, 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 bad for every person to hear. And the I mean the abuser or whatever in that manner, manner, I don't know if Mason himself, who's been accused of rape, who's been in charge of this and this and that, should even be around Manchester Football Club, who has women in that football club. So, in my opinion, I think the decision that I know the United plan to bring Mason Greenwood back, but then the latest development is he's not going to be in the football club, which is a good news in my opinion. It shouldn't be there anymore. He has to learn his lesson and also transfer that lessons to his children when he have, should in case he have one, also transfer that lesson that he has learned and what he's going on in his football career. So that's just by the way. I know. Welcome to the stream, DJ Salve.
Big up, Nee. Big up to you, bro. Big up to you. Big up to Herbert. Big up to everyone in the comments.
It's been a while, and how you doing, brother?
Yeah, not bad, mate. I've been working, back and forth in the office again, so I'm hardly here to actually be on streams and stuff. But I'm working from home today, so I thought I just saw you on. I thought I'd just jump on quickly and see how things are going, and obviously talk the subject of Chelsea as we're talking now.
I appreciate you, brother, for taking the time and joining us here. I know you have a lot to talk about yesterday's game. I know, because Chelsea is all the time in that heart. So I know you have a lot to discuss over here. So big up to you, Monster. Monster said, how was this possible with so much money spent and still not any progress? We will see progress, brother. We will see progress, but it's going to take time. If we all understand it is a project, but then I think certain personnel do not understand what they're doing on the football pitch. Big up to you, Golan Mustafa says, RIP Manchester United. All right, so we have I Want to Love You here. Said, I'm very, very happy. I'm very, very busy at work today. Needs Zion, but listening along. Hope everyone is doing very well. Thank you very much. Although with that your busy schedule, you are still listening to the show. Todd Bowley, big spending, but cannot achieve something with the money he is spending. This is crazy. Well, look, Monster, it is a long-term project. A long-term project. Now let's take Todd Bowley out of this equation. Todd Bowley has given us material to work with. Are those materials the material that Mauricio Pochettino asked for? If they are, then every question needs to be directly to Mauricio Pochettino. Mauricio Pochettino is very lucky I'm not in the UK right now, because I'm gonna ask question. I'm gonna ask him lots of questions with the players that played during preseason and how impressive some of them were. And I'm talking about Ian Matson. Ian Matson hasn't seen any minutes so far on the football pitch. He needs to get on there, because those that are given time to play are not doing anything. So, big up to Dextro HHH. He says, "Get that dumb Mason Mount out of my club." Oh my goodness! All right, Dextro, we will get Mason Mount back to the out of your football club. But where do we take him? Chelsea Football Club fans will not take Mason Mount anymore. So, Dextro, that's just by the way, he is awful. Yes, I saw the action on his face when he went to sit down. It's like, did I ask for this? Did I ask for this? How long is it going to take Manchester United fans to accept me as one of the Red Devils? So, Destron says, Scala, what you said on the Mount was correct. I was fooled by these Chelsea fans. Oh, my goodness. Ghulam Mustafa is just laughing. Yes, he is just laughing. This is a big mistake. You guys listen to Mason Mount's dad and look at what he's driven you guys to. So, I'll get back to Scala. Let me go to DJ. DJ,
Yeah, bro.
yes, DJ, what's your joining us? Let me go through a little bit on the topics of the day. We're going through the review of the game, and also West Ham
Yeah.
United review of the game, and also Kano Chukwumeka injury update. I've been looking online to see if there is any update on him. It looks like there's nothing there. There's nothing being said so far, but if it's not that bad, we might end up seeing on Friday playing against Luton Town. And also we'll be talking about Chelsea selling the 11 million euro, 11.8 million Petrovic, another goalkeeper who will come in and challenge Sanchez. So we're looking at DJ. Take us
Yeah, bro.
through the lineup and what you make of yesterday's game, sir.
To be honest with you, I was out and about yesterday. I only caught the highlights yesterday. I recorded the game. I not had a chance to actually sit and watch the whole game full out. My dad was obviously giving me the updates on things because he was watching the game full out. And he said to me, we didn't play that bad. It's just that we played pretty well. We just were not finishing off our chances as it's been the same old as it was last season. Listen, I'm not going to judge my team after 2 games, Nee. I mean, I've seen a lot of backlash coming in from the fan base, and I'm not going to judge my team on 2 games. Yes, it was a bad day at the office yesterday. Yes, we lost 3-1. Yes, Enzo Fernandez scores that penalty. It could have been a different game altogether. People can go on about the ands and the ifs and the whats or whatever it might be, but the bottom line is I didn't see my team playing bad yesterday. Okay, the first half, I'm understanding was, we had a great first half. Second half, we kind of let our foot off the gas in the second half. And West Ham came as obviously when the sending off happened. We thought, yes, there's a chance for Chelsea now to come back into the game. It wasn't the case, and then people are now going on about Caicedo because of that third goal that went in. I mean, I at the moment for me, it's only a second game of the season. Yes, it was a bad result. My only question I'll ask of Pochettino is, you've gone and played a back 4 all pre-season. Why have you just all of a sudden gone to a back 3 at the start of the new Prem season? That would be the only question I probably would ask Pochettino of why he's doing that, because we thought we were like in pre-season. We were excellent in pre-season, and playing in that back 4. Now he's obviously diverted back to the back 3, and I don't know if it's because of certain injuries to certain players, but I think once he gets this team playing how he wants them to play, I've got no doubts in my mind whatsoever. I think we'll get over this result. We'll bounce back against Luton on Friday, and then after that, this game will be forgotten about.
I agree. Spot on, DJ. Big up to you, Vicky. Vicky said we scam United. Ha ha ha. Then Ghulam Mustafa said no, United scam themselves. So big up to Bombastic. I hope you're doing very well. Tommy said big up to the panel watching from work, bro. What a disaster of a game. I will give Maurice. I'll give Poch time. Absolutely, Mauricio Pochettino need a lot of time. To be honest with you, yes. If you watched the game yesterday, we look. It's not fair that we played the way we played yesterday and we lost. But it all have to be tactical. We don't need much. Chelsea don't need much. going forward. We don't need much, but then the decision making in the final third is what the team is lacking. The decision making in the final third. Ryan Sterling was terrific on yesterday's game. It's like a young Ryan Sterling of the one we saw in Liverpool and the one we saw at Manchester City. That's what we saw yesterday. But then when you get in there, most of the cutting, the passes that were going to 18 were very, very awful. And DJ and Scala, I don't know if you guys watched Chelsea preseason. There was a lot of link-up play. Lots of passes that were going directly to Nicholas Jackson. They were feeding him off. How do you see his performance yesterday, DJ? How do you see his performance yesterday? Scala, I'll come back to you in a second, Scala. Go
Again,
ahead,
like I said, I saw highlights only yesterday. I'm going to try and watch the whole game tonight, full game tonight, to watch it all, to make my observations and my comments on that. But in terms of what I was hearing and stuff like that, I think we're being a little bit harsh on Jackson. I've already seen some comments come out about the guy, and I think it's wrong. I think originally, if you think about it, Nee, right, we had Nkuku and Jackson in that team, and I think he must have thought he was just going to either come on as a substitute after Nkuku, or he plays behind Nkuku or off Nkuku. We're missing him at the moment in that team. Nkuku is the missing piece in that team since he got injured. And I think that's the reason why it's kind of like, I don't know, we've kind of lost our way a little bit, because obviously he was making things tick when he was playing in pre-season. Against Liverpool, I have to say, I thought Jackson was excellent against Liverpool. I thought he had a very good game against Liverpool. And people are saying, oh, Chelsea fans are making something big of Nicholas Jackson because he had one great game against Liverpool. It's not that at all. I actually think Nicholas Jackson is a good player and will be a good player. I just think that he just needs, I think once he gets, they always say, I don't know if you can remember, Nee, when Drogba first came to Chelsea, and I'm going to go back to Drogba. People were complaining about, this number 9. Yeah, he struggled. And it took I think it was one game. I can't remember who it was against. I think it was against either Man United or Arsenal, where the ball actually just took a nick off his boot and went into the net. He didn't even shoot it. It just took a nick off his boot and it went into the net. After that, the guy started filing his goal scoring boots came on. He started scoring goals for us. I think Jackson needs the same thing. The guy gets one goal, I think he'll be okay. This is one of the reasons why I'm not in panic mode after just 2 games. Yeah, we're 15th in the league. Big deal, all right. But as I said, we got a good manager, we got some good players, and we just have to wait and see it all working out, and it will work out. This is one of the reasons why I'm not making any judgments now. This is why I'm trying to say all to the Chelsea fans out there: be patient. I know it's a bad result yesterday. Let's not complain about certain players. I saw Mudryk was getting a load of flack from the fans afterwards, which I thought was bang out of order again. The guy's just, guy was excellent for us in pre-season, but he doesn't seem to be starting him in games. He's only bringing him on here and there for cameo roles. I'd say give this guy at least 5, 6, 10 starts and see what happens then. At the moment, he keeps on coming off the bench. Things are not happening with him and people are having a moan about him. So listen, as I said, I'm not worried. And hopefully I'm confident we'll pick things up.
Thank you very much, DJ. Scala, you watched yesterday. I'll get back to we're gonna get back to Mason Mount in a minute. Scala, you watched Chelsea's game yesterday. You watched Chelsea game. What do you think? To me, from what DJ just said, I know Jackson was more isolated over there. That's how I feel, was isolated. Wasn't get the service from the attackers. There were more individual play yesterday. Lots of individual work from Raheem Sterling. Lots of individual work from Kano Chukwuemeka. There wasn't so much link play in there like we saw in the preseason. What did you see in Chelsea's game yesterday, Scala?
Yeah, obviously, I didn't watch the game. I did catch up the highlights. I did watch the last 20 minutes of your game. That's what I managed to catch up. But look, when it comes to Nicholas Jackson, I think the criticism this guy is getting is very unfair. This is his second Premier League game. And people are expecting him to be like a goal-scoring machine. That's not what you guys bought him for. If you look what he does off the ball, that's more than any of your past strikers have done. That includes players like, Lukaku, Morata, and all those guys, Kai Havertz, who you spend so much money on. I think this guy was bought in for 40 million, something like that. It's not a big amount of money.
35 million.
35 million, and he did decent in La Liga. But I like his game, man. I agree with DJ what he says about once he gets that one goal, I think he'll feel that confidence that I am a Premier League player right now. I can score goals. If you looked at his performance versus Liverpool, this guy had Van Dijk and Konate running like he was they weren't able to catch him like constantly off the ball. He was making movements, running the channels, backing into defenders. He offers so much, even if he's not scoring. And I know he should have scored that goal. It was a very simple sort of a tap in against Liverpool. But yeah, man. But the big problem for you guys is that I feel like that front three of you of the front three or whatever you guys playing,
Yeah.
it's a bit imbalanced in my opinion. Like Sterling is
Yeah.
much more like he's not really a winger. He's a goal scoring forward. And once he's playing in that, he's not really going to be facilitating the striker. He's not that kind of
Very, very,
creative.
very predictable. Sterling's
Yeah,
very,
it's
very
very
predictable. You know
predictable.
what you
That's
can
why,
tell
yeah, I mean, once you
what
get
he can do.
Nkunku in, that's it's going to change. And yeah, I agree. Like Mudryk, he's much more of a winger. Like he's not really someone who's looking to score first. He's looking to create first. And then I feel that Jackson's game might improve. Obviously, you lost Reece James. That's a big blow because he's one of your best creators. And obviously, when you get Caicedo and Enzo, and I just feel like Enzo again, he should be playing a much further up the field. He's obviously your best player on the ball. So yeah, man, I wouldn't worry about this. It's not really a result which validates too much criticism. But I
Yeah.
can't lie, that's one of the worst debuts I ever seen from a player, Caicedo. I mean, you can give it a pass because he hasn't kicked the ball in 60 days. Like he hasn't played football for 2 months, so you can't really expect him to be the Brighton Caicedo. Yeah, but man, I mean, you guys are going to be playing one game a week, so I expect Chelsea to be highly favorites for that top four position, considering that we are already looking like we're not been getting top four. So yeah,
I,
no worries, man.
I think Caicedo was in the game during preseason. I watched Caicedo play live because it was a game between either Brighton and Fulham. Then also it was Chelsea and Newcastle because I think it was the two games one day, which I watched all the games at that time. So yeah, but then you could tell that he's very, very, very rusty. He hasn't been
Yeah.
training, hasn't had that competitive training before he moved to Chelsea because the saga was a long saga for him to deal with before. But I don't know why he got in there. I don't know why even Pochettino gave him a chance to play at all. But there's nothing wrong, those things happen. We Chelsea made West Ham United get themselves into the game because all those chances they were getting, if they buried all those chances, there'll be no way West Ham can come in the game because they were scared. They were scared. They were just sitting back, trying to capitalize on our mistakes and hit us on the break. But we're gonna move on to Chelsea again. Scarlett, what do you make of this player, Paqueta? Paqueta's gambling and also his gambling and also him himself and also James Ward-Prowse, what's his name? James Ward-Prowse on his debut. Nice corner kick set pieces directly into a goal. We know him how good he is with set pieces. What do you make of him on his day? Oh, you said you did not watch the game, right? Didn't you?
No, I watched the goal. I mean,
Oh,
Paqueta obviously he's been involved in some gambling charges. That's why his move to Man City is off. Again, that
did,
needs to be.
that deal that I was told is being cancelled for some reason. I don't know
Yeah,
if
he's been involved in
City
gambling charges.
have
Yeah,
withdrawn.
yeah. So that deal doesn't look like. But yeah, I mean, Ward Prowse, you know what you're going to get with him. I'm a bit sad that they didn't buy McTominay for us, and now they are going to. Obviously, Ward Prowse is in there. I mean, Maguire could have been in there playing against you guys. That
Yeah,
deal got off. But yeah, man. So speaking of Ward Prowse, he's a typical Moyes kind of player, like that lower to mid-table team where you know what you're gonna get with him, set pieces, and you know that West Ham they love set pieces with all their big guys. Yeah, but Chelsea need to defend these set pieces well. I mean, that's one thing which Poch would like to get back. Doing well. I mean, I forget he's a decent player. I watched him in the World Cup. He's a very good player. Uh, yeah, man. I mean, look, it's only the second game for you guys. I agree that the next game for Luton. I think you guys have that one performance off, like that one complete performance from really getting back to what you guys can do. And that the next game is perfect, isn't it? Luton at the
Luton.
bridge.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that should be a good game.
West Ham United at this moment are trying to get Mohamed Kudus, but the price I think is 50 million. West Ham
Yeah.
United hasn't agreed on the deal yet. But if Kudus come in, West Ham United might be a different team. Even with what they have now, they're playing differently. They're playing very, very well. Who knew that they were going to surprise Chelsea with a 3-1 win? So okay, Chelsea Blue said, I believe the Nkunku injury changed all Poch tactics. He trusted Nkunku on the left, but I don't think he trusts Modric to be effective as a starter. Thank you very much, Chelsea Blue, for your comments. Yes, definitely, we didn't knew that Nkunku was going to go. His injury, and also the the impact of Reece James has also affected the team in some other way, in my opinion. Reece James, look, Reece James' best season in his footballing career was with Wigan, was with him himself in the academy, but then he hasn't played much for Chelsea. Is he going to be one of those things that we see in an up and coming player that did not live up to that? Did not live up to his expectation with injury really brought him down. We saw the lights of Michael Owen, how good he was. I think he had ACL, did not take that time for the ACL to heal, and then he returned back to the pitch, and then on and on and on, did not become who he was anymore, Michael Owen. So let's go back to DJ Saab. DJ Saab,
Yeah.
our player, Reece James, a captain
Yes.
who will be spending so much time off the pitch. What do you make? Do you think that yesterday's game was lacking a leadership role? And Reece James, what do you make of Reece James?
Yeah, obviously, I'm gutted that Reece is out after that game against Liverpool. I thought, obviously, I'll be honest with you, Nee. When Poch came out after the Liverpool game and says, "Oh, he was feeling tired," I straight away knew in my own self that no, give it a day or so, it's going to come out to say it's actually an injury. And lo and behold, 2 days later afterwards, it came out to be that it was an injury, and apparently he got that training in training. So obviously I'm gutted he's not there. I've seen a lot of fans already, which is what I'm again, which I don't agree with. Fans already calling out Reece James. He's an injury-prone player. We should sell him to Real Madrid, get the money, sell him to Real Madrid. I think that's not the answer. That for me, I think the guy will find his way. I think maybe he just needs to have this operation get done. That will keep him out for maybe a month or two, and then we see how and he still stays he still stays within the Chelsea squad. I think that's probably what he needs, and I think you'll see a better Reece James again. Maybe there's something. Maybe they're thinking he doesn't need it at this stage, but it's not helping that he keeps on getting injuries every time. And if it's in the same area, then I would expect the doctors and stuff to start saying to him, look, Reece, you're getting too many injuries. Get this operation. Have your operation done. Sit out for a month or two. We got Gusto there. Caicedo can play there if need be until you come back, if need be. I'm saying, and and then he comes back he comes back as a fit Reece James that we all know and love. And all I'll say again to the Chelsea fans again out there is, it's not the answer. Get rid of Reece James. He's one of us. He's our captain. He's our talisman. All right, and I think for me, once he gets over this injury, you'll see a better Reece James. The guy's only 20, 23. Only still only 22, 23 years
22,
old.
22.
20, so
23,
he's
yeah,
got
23, 23.
yeah,
Yeah,
so he's
23.
still got a way up. People say, "Oh, well, look what happened to Cho, that bad injury that done to him." Yeah, I get that situation, but Reece, hopefully Reece is not as bad as that. And once he gets that, we'll see a better Reece James. I don't doubt that for a second, but it's not helping that he's missing from our team at the moment. Because
Yeah, that's true. Thank you very much. I think he was supposed to have that surgery even during the World
yeah,
Cup when he was supposed to have that surgery, and then he didn't get it done. But from the talks and what I'm hearing, it doesn't look like he's going to have surgery. It is
yeah,
what he's going to
I
have.
heard that.
He'll be out for through rehabilitation. He'll be out for 4 weeks by
Yeah,
reports. He'll be out for 4 weeks. And then, all right, the Blues said that Poch have to use Sterling and Modric starting at the same time. Those Modric is just like a Sterling. Those guys are a little bit inexperienced. The final delivery is very, very bad. Modric, very pacey on the left hand side, but then the final third. It's all about the final third, guys. Sanchez is not the keeper Chelsea wants at this moment. I even don't know why Sanchez is now number one. Now we are trying to look at another goalkeeper. We'll be looking at this moment. We've talked more about the review of the game. We still got more to talk about. Let's talk a little bit about Chelsea sealing the 11.8 million Petrovic deal. I don't know if you know much about
Yeah.
Petrovic.
No, I don't know much about him. I've seen just the highlights, as they say, of him. He looks, from what I've seen, from what I've watched of him and what I've seen watch of the highlights of him, he does look like he's obviously quite tall. I think he's about 6'6". I think he's about 6'3" or 6'4", something like that. So he's got size again on him. He's a good. I mean, from the size from the highlights I've seen, looks like he really gets down well. He saves. He saves. He's kicking with his feet is good. For a tall goalkeeper. I mean, he does look the business. But again, is he what we need now? I mean, if we're going to look for a goalkeeper, for me, I've always said it. If we're going to bring in a number one and make Sanchez say number two, we should go all out for Diogo. For Costa from Porto. I've been going on. I've been going on about this guy, banging on about this guy for a long time, and I don't understand why we're not looking to bring someone like of that ilk into this club, because I think he'd be one goalkeeper that would really, come in and do really, really well for us, because I've seen a lot of him in Porto. Obviously following Portuguese football, and he's a brilliant talent, and he's still young as well, and I think he could come and do a good job for us. But this goalkeeper, I'm not going to complain. He looks pretty good, and if he comes in as a number two or even as a number one to challenge Sanchez, let's see what happens with it. Let's see what happens.
Report coming on earlier today from Nizak Ansela, the Standard Sports, described that Chelsea are making a very, very strong substantial offer of 50 million for new Revolution England goalkeeper, which is Petrovic. So at this moment, it looks like we might not get that keeper you're talking about. Is it Diego, right? Diego?
Yeah, Diogo Costa. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get him. I think if this guy's coming as a number two, then he's going to come in as a number two. But he may also be good enough to challenge Sanchez as well, because I mean, as I said, highlights I've seen of him, he does look good. And he's what, 20? Is he 24?
I'm not so sure of his age.
I think he's 24. Sure. I think he's 24.
I mean, if you're bringing this goalkeeper in, why wouldn't you give a chance to Slanini? Because I don't know the difference. I'm not so sure.
Very good question, Nee. And I think that's because he's I think Slanini's only 18 years old, and I think he's banded out to be our future number one eventually. It's a strange one. It is a bit of a strange one that we're bringing in this guy. And don't forget, we've still got Kep, who's out on loan still at Real Madrid. That's not even an obligation to buy. So this guy's going to come back to us next season. So we're going to have more goalkeepers at our club, more than anything else again next season. But obviously we cross that bridge when we come to it. But it's a bit of an odd one. Why we don't make, why we're bringing in another one. But Slanina, from my understanding, is Slanina going forward will be our number one goalkeeper.
All right, let's go off topic from Chelsea a little bit. Let's talk Mason Mount. I know Scala has a lot to talk about in terms of Mason Mount. Scala, Mason Mount. Have you guys regret it, or do you guys still believe there's more player in this guy, there's potential that you guys can get something out of Mason Mount in the future, or is it Eric Ten Hag that is result into you guys' bad performance so far? Very, very bad game against Wolves. You guys were supposed to lose that game. There was a penalty call, foul from Onana, which Wolves did not get that. Did not get that chance to get that penalty kick. And also, look at how you guys were being beaten by Tottenham Hotspur. Where's the problem going on right now? Where's it from?
Yeah, man. I mean, look, this is probably the first time where the manager, Ten Hag, he has been under severe pressure. Like, people are starting to turn on him. And after the game, Ten Hag out was trending. So, look, I told you about Mason Mount. He wasn't my choice. I wouldn't have not got anywhere near to Mason Mount. That profile of player, we didn't need him. But obviously, the manager saw something in him and felt like I can integrate this guy into my team.
Are you
I'm
sure
saying he
it's the
took.
manager, or do you think Manchester United
No,
really
no, no.
went for
Manchester
him?
United were not in for him. We didn't want Mount. That's the manager. He was pushing for him. He made him his first signing. That's not a club signing. I understand we are a English club and we love to buy English players. That's what United have done for a long time. But no, no, no. That was not a club signing. We haggled around. Remember, like Chelsea was saying that we bid 45 million first. Then you said that no, we want 50. Then we went for 55 plus add-ons. So that was all Ten Hag's doing, because he saw what he could do when he was in like Holland under Vitesse. He was playing at loan at that club, and he obviously saw what Mason Mount could do, and he feels like I could get something out of this guy. But he looks like at the moment has been got a massive egg on his face, because he unbalances the team. He doesn't offer much. He's so invisible. The first game against Wolves, I barely noticed this guy. Okay, and I'm going to reveal you something which is exclusive. I mean, not exclusive, but it's something which was another reason why I personally didn't want Mount. But yeah, but look, on tactically, Mason Mount, he doesn't fit our team. He played as a number 10 slash like a dynamic 8 in the first game, and it didn't work. And then he moved into a sort of a deep lying position versus Tottenham. Again, decent first half, but again, completely invisible second half. And I can't believe we sold Fred for Mason Mount, because Fred always turns up in these big games. Last
Yeah.
time he was man of the match against Tottenham when we were 2-0 up at halftime. And with Fred, I know what Fred can do. Like, he's an elite ball winner. He's like in that Conte level when he wants to win the ball. Don't expect him to do with anything on the ball, but when you want to win the ball of an opposition, Fred was one of our best players. But look, personally, I didn't want Mason Mount because I know what this club will do with a player like that. They are going to turn him into this PR machine, because they have been looking out for a Lingard replacement since Jesse Lingard left. They have been looking for an English player who can turn them into this kind of a brand value. And if you do your research, you would know like which PR agency Mason Mount is signed under. If you do your research, it's not
Yeah.
a surprise that his PR agency is the same as David Beckham's. Both of their PR agents are same, and that's why I didn't want him, because I know we already have that guy in Rashford. He does a lots of PR work, and Mason Mount signs with United. The next day he's doing shoots for Gucci and Rolex and all those kind of stuff. And I don't want that. I don't want my players, especially who we spent 55 million on, doing those stuff, because it's not what we need at the moment. And Ten Hag doesn't like it. He did want United to go on preseason to US, by the way. He didn't want that. He wanted to stay back and do whatever tactics back at England only. So look, regardless of that, Mason Mount, I think again we financed Chelsea, who are our rivals. We gave them money and they bought a better player in Caicedo. Forget the 115 million. You bought a better player, and we were culprits in that. So look, this is on Ten Hag. I feel bad. I don't feel bad because that's a lot of money he spent. But to make him the priority, spending that money on his as make him as his first signing. I mean, look, he has to make this work. Otherwise, I think he could be, I mean, I'm not confident, man. I'm not confident with Mason Mount. I hope we get Amrabat or Gravenberch and Mason Mount can hold the bench, because he's not what we needed. So it's on Ten Hag.
All right. Thank you very much, Scala. Thank you very much for taking the time and taking it through Ten Hag and Mason Mount and DJ Mason Mount, Eric Ten Hag, Manchester United problems. What is
Yeah.
going on? What's your take on that?
Listen, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna, I'm not one of those who was a Mason Mount hater or a Mason Mount disliker. Obviously, what he did and how he left Chelsea to go to Man United is the only thing I'm holding him for that. What I will say though is I know he hasn't been that great for United. His start hasn't been that great. But I think you're going to find, I'm not saying, by the way, Herbert is one of them, but I think you find a lot of the United fans now are going to use Mason Mount as a scapegoat now for everything that happens now, because my understanding is some people are also not happy with Enzo Fernandez and Mason Mount in that midfield together. A lot of people are blaming Enzo one time, a lot of them are blaming Mason Mount, and they're saying they need those two can't play together as a whole as two midfielders. They need, like, obviously you've got Casemiro in there, but you need someone like an Amrabat or like a Gravenberch or someone like that to come in to hold that fort. Now, I think what I'll say is what I've seen of Mason Mount so far in the United shirt hasn't been great. I'm not going to lie. I know he's better than that. From what we've seen of him when he was having his good times at Chelsea, he was actually a good player for us. But for whatever reasons, last season his form dipped last season, and I think Chelsea sold him at the right time. Okay, I'm not going to lie, I was a bit disappointed that we did sell him because I thought maybe he was a kind of player that Poch could probably get a lot out of when coming in, to make him a better player. But obviously not. He's now at United. I think United, at this moment in time, will kind of like blame Mason Mount for a few things now, but I think he's a good player in there. But I really do. I think once he gets going and plays the way you guys need to play, I really think he could be a good player for you guys. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't disagree with that. My point is that look, even when he was doing bits at Chelsea, I didn't really see Mason Mount as some elite midfielder. I
Of
think
course,
he was.
yeah.
I always felt that he's like the next James Milner. He's like average at everything, good at nothing.
Yeah.
That's always
Yeah.
I felt like he's got decent free kick. All right, he's good on the ball sometimes, but again, he lacks a lot of physicality. But my biggest problem is he wasn't the profile we needed, because if you see in our games, Casemiro is so exposed. Like, this guy I mean, look, he went from Cruz and Modric to McTominay and Fred, and now Mason Mount. He must be thinking why I left Madrid. So that's the problem. But again, I don't blame him. I don't blame Mason Mount.
Do you think Enzo? But do you think Enzo makes him exposed as well as that on Casemiro? Because with him and Mount together in that midfield, with Casemiro supposed to be like the holding guy, if you like, for this time, do you think that both of them are at fault for leaving Casemiro on his own to do what he needs to do by himself when he needs both their help, or do you think it's just Mason Mount?
I think the problem with that, look, we got Bruno in the midfield and we have Casemiro, so both of them do cover a bit of ground. But problem is that Bruno and Mount, they want to play and occupy the similar positions, which doesn't work. So what the manager did against Tottenham was that he told Mount to play like a deep lying 8, which he did in the first half. I mean, I saw a few good touches and he tried to spread the ball and all that. But again, that's not his role. I don't think he ever played like a deep lying playmaker at Chelsea. So you're asking him to do something which he wasn't bought for. So now you're again going back to your original plan. You bought Mason Mount as an Eriksen replacement. Eriksen is good on the ball, but he hasn't got any kind of athleticism. But again, he also disbalances us because Casemiro is left exposed, because Bruno loves to get into the box, and he missed that chance against Tottenham. So I don't have a problem with Bruno because I already accepted what kind of a player Bruno is. But this is on the manager again. Why did you buy him? Why did you buy Mason Mount when our midfield is exposed? So I mean, he would have suited a team like Liverpool more, where they play that high octane, rock and roll football, everything attack, and let it leave the defense to Van Dijk and Konate. Let's see what happens. So yeah, man. I mean, I understand why you guys are frustrated how he left. I mean, if you wanted that kind of money, you should have shown that kind of performance. And I saw his dad sitting in the Old Trafford dressing room, and he was all like saying that I can't believe you're going to be playing here. I think his dad side is all United fans. He's a Portsmouth fan, something like that. So yeah, man. I mean, we gave you 55 million. That's what bugs me. Like, we financed you guys, and you guys are a direct top 4 rival now. So, and you squeezed out 60 million for Havertz. So see, these are the things you need to keep in mind. That's why if you see, I don't know if you read this rumor today, that Liverpool, they want Calvin Phillips from
Yes,
City.
I saw that.
So Pep is thinking whether should I give them a direct rival, like, even though Phillips hasn't played, he's in a bit like a Mason Mount situation, isn't he? And he's thinking whether should I strengthen Liverpool. But my manager didn't thought that. I mean, he thought that, like, let's give them whatever want and take Mason Mount. So yeah, man, Ten Hag is in bit of a ditch right now.
Poor Herbert. Sorry, brother.
That's okay. That's okay. All right, so it looks like we've covered pretty much of everything in terms of the review. We did a lot of review, and also goalkeeper. We talk about the goalkeeper. Then we talk about Conor Chukwuemeka's injury update. That's what we talk about. I have still not seen anything pertain to Chukwuemeka. It's just an update on Mason Greenwood. As the full episode, they said the story is right there why United took a U-turn. So I'm sure it's going to be lots of messages coming from individuals, supporters of the football club, that they don't want him at the football club again. So I'm sure most of the story. And Steven, DJ Saab, and then Scala. It looks like El Hilal is doing the magic again. Right now, I understand El Hilal are open talk to sign Rodrigo. You know Rodrigo, Argentine player. Rodrigo, I think he plays for Atletico Madrid. Rodrigo De
Yeah,
Wow.
Paul.
Rodrigo De Paul.
Yeah, Rodrigo De Paul. He's the
Yeah.
main target after Petro Zelensky deal collapse. So they are swapping up all these players. I'm very, very happy we don't belong in our league. Else it's gonna be nasty because they are buying almost everyone. They're buying everyone. All right. So what is next? We've done. DJ, anything you wanna add to our stream today? Chelsea or spendings. There's going to be more spending.
Yeah.
Mauricio
There's
Pochettino
going to
talk
be.
about there's going to be
Yes.
more like a striker. The striker
Yeah.
need to come in and one more midfielder. So
Yes. Yes. Listen, we definitely need to see some. Obviously, there's still some players that need to leave. I mean, great news that Hakim Ziyech left on Friday as well. I think Callum Hudson-Odoi is on his way out as well. Obviously disappointed about that, but his whole Chelsea career, because I really, really valued and rated this kid so much. I'm just gutted it's not worked out for him. And he's going now. He's another one off the books. We still don't know the situation with Gallagher and Cucurella. Those two could possibly be leaving before the window shuts as well. Which would be an interesting situation. I actually would like to see Gallagher stay, to be honest with you. We need to sell Cucurella, maybe possibly sell Cucurella, because we've obviously got Maatsen who can play in that role if need be. In terms of comings in, listen, I've seen talks of Vlahovic being linked again today, but apparently Chelsea are still. It's the Chelsea board that are more or less putting their noses up to this deal. I think it's not so much Poch. I think it's more to the fact that I don't think he can come in and make us a better team than what we've got now, which I find interesting. And they rather keep Lukaku, who doesn't really want to be at the football club, and I really want to see him gone as well. And obviously, there's talk again. I saw today of Jerky and Mohamed Kudus again today for Chelsea being linked. Listen, those two players do interest me. Either one of them we can bring in, and I tell you another player I wouldn't mind seeing coming back to Chelsea. And it's only because I understand. My understanding is, and what I've been told, is that his contract at Atletico Madrid is going to be ripped up. He's going to be a free agent. I know there's a lot of talk of Barcelona that want him, but if Chelsea can go back in for João Felix, I wouldn't complain about that. I really wouldn't. If we can bring him back to the football club, because I know there's some fans out there that don't rate him. There's some fans that said, "Oh, first game he came in, he got that suspension after being sent off against Fulham." But listen, he can come back to Chelsea if his contract is ripped up, as we've been told, or I've been hearing, or been told, or seen that it's going to be terminated. There'll be a lot of clubs in for him. I know Barcelona at the moment are favourites, and his for him it's to go to Barcelona, but he's also got a spot for Chelsea as well, because I think he also said if he was to come back to the Premiership, it would be back to Chelsea. So I reckon that could be another one to look into before the window shuts, of where he may end up.
Chelsea was linked with what's his name? There's I think the Belgium player. I forgot his name again.
Doku.
Doku. But now it looks
Yeah.
like City are in for him.
Yeah, they are in for him, but I think Chelsea were trying to hijack that deal, to be fair, because actually Manchester City were actually the first club to go in for him, and Chelsea were just trying to find a way of hijacking the deal. Yeah, it'd be a good move for Manchester City. I think he's a good player. I think he's been for many years. I think who would believe he's I think he's now 21. But
21
over the
years
years,
old,
he's been linked with Liverpool in the last couple of seasons.
Oh,
But for whatever reason, they never
don't even say they don't have money.
Honestly, bro. Over the last couple of years. He was going to go to Liverpool, but for whatever reason, it never happened. But if Man City get him, it's a good player. Very good player. Is he what we need now on this Chelsea team? I would go for Kudus. I'd go for Kudus.
I'll go for Kudus. We know strength, much more players that can score goals from the midfield. That's what we need. Players that we can. And do you know that Liverpool went after Enzo Fernandez? I think before he moved to Benfica for 15 million. They couldn't get him.
Yeah.
So
no, they did. They got Endo in. They got
They
Endo
got
instead.
Endo, and they said Endo is as good as Caicedo. Really, really, Klopp. Really.
Do you know what, Nick? Can I just say
Yeah.
something to you?
Yeah.
I
Go
think a
ahead,
lot,
sir.
I think a lot of people are looking at this Caicedo. The only reason why people are dwelling on his mistake is because we spent 115 million pounds on him. Now, had Chelsea not spent 150 million on him, that mistake happens. No one says anything. Yeah, so I think it's about money at the end of the day. People are coming about the money, 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 money. At the end of the day, that mistake could happen to an Mbappe. It could happen to anybody. Are people going to say, "Oh, Mbappe, 250 million pound flop, he made a mistake"? No one's going to say that, are they? So you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying it's just it goes no. It's just all about the money. It's all it's about, and because Chelsea are the team it's happened to.
Yeah. Just like you said, Caicedo will come good. Everything takes time.
100%.
It takes time.
And Lavia.
Scala and Lavia too. Let's see, imagine having Caicedo, Lavia, and Enzo Fernandez in the midfield. We're all set. And then Ades will come in from the bench. Scala, do you want to add anything to the discussion? Anything from your side? Any update from United or anything from Chelsea before we bring the stream to an end, brother?
Yeah, look, about the names DJ was saying about, Kudus and Felix. I mean, these two guys you would like at the club. What I would say that about Mohamed Kudus, that his agent, he is pushing for a Premier League move. I mean, if you look at the clubs who have been linked to, like Arsenal, United, West Ham, Chelsea, Brighton, so you have to, take it to that consideration that does he just want a Premier League move, or does he have any club or project in mind? I feel it's the former, because he's obviously a Ten Hag player. He played under Ten Hag when he was at Ajax. So we were linked to him in January. Then Arsenal were heavily linked to him when the season was coming to an end. Then obviously Brighton almost signed him. Then the Chelsea rumors, because he was signing all these players, and now he's probably his agent and also Ajax are probably agreeing a fee with West Ham. So I don't know. I mean, I'm a bit confused. Like, what does this guy want? Does he want to play for a particular club, or is he interested by a project, or just he wants that Premier League money? So I mean, look, I would be a bit cautious with that. About Joao Felix again, he wants to go to Barca. He has openly said that. Probably didn't enjoy his time under Chelsea. So look, my two-piece on this is that I don't want any players who don't want to play for my club, whether it's Chelsea or United. Look at the players you bought. Lavia chose Chelsea over Liverpool. Same for Caicedo. And all these players you have bought, they want to play for Chelsea. This is why Tottenham are doing well, because they got Ange Postecoglou, who wants to manage Tottenham, unlike Conte and Mourinho. So when you have that kind of, relatability with the club, it's easier to work. So if you buy look, you bought Nicholas Jackson, he wants to play for Chelsea. So if you bought like those kind of players, it would be easy for you to transition then. So that's the only thing I would say. Like, you don't want players who don't want to play for your club. So you already signed too many of them lot in Lukaku and Morata.
True.
All right, I think you're spot on, Scala. Thank you very much for joining us here. We're probably going to see you tomorrow, same time, 3 p.m. UK time. And I'm sure that time works for you perfectly, right? It's not too late with you.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's not that bad. I know when I go back to 6:30, normally it's too late for you to stay up for quite some while, and then stay up for a long period of time whilst you're streaming. So thank you for joining us here, Scala. And DJ Saf,
brother.
Is there anything you want to add more? We're good for now.
Nah, we're all good, mate. We're all good.
Okay. The best of luck to Chelsea Football Club, and I'm sure the fans will be smiling on Friday when we get a win. Our first 3 points against Luton Town. A lot of goals will be in their net. To be honest with you, Luton will suffer nightmare from Chelsea. Chelsea put all their pressure and all their misses of chances that they've missed against Liverpool and against West Ham United. All those chances we put together and we drop them in Luton's net. So, guys, thanks to everyone who has been on this platform today, joining the stream, and also everyone that put his comments in. DJ Sav, Scala United, Chelsea, the Blue shows 100%, and Vicky, Gulu Mustafa. Everyone, if I didn't mention your name, please apologize. Forgive me for that. So we'll see you guys again tomorrow. Same time. What did I do? Yes, same time again. Bye-bye for now. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Blueclouds TV.